And they'll also be going to places like South Carolina, Tennessee, and others. We have a lot of car-making states, a lot of parts-making states, too. And our car industry will have a renaissance, the likes of which we have never seen before in this country. We have never seen since the golden years. It's my goal to get our country on an automaking path where at some point in the near future it will be bigger and more important than it ever was. And even in its heyday, many years ago, it was unbelievable. I think we can be bigger and more important because we have some very, very great assets. And this is very personal for me. Personal. One of the reasons is because I've been talking about it for 20 years. I can't believe it happened. That was when I was honored, that's all I talked about. I was watching this happen. It was, at that time, Japan. Japan was just taking our cars like we were a bunch of babies. I always say candy from a baby. That's how easy it was. Now it's Japan, but it's China, and it's a lot of countries. This was one of the biggest reasons I ran for president in the first place. You know, it was probably the auto industry that was most abused. You were the most abused. There are a lot of industries that are abused. We stopped it, but now I could put the brakes on. Not only stop, I now know the game a little better. You know, I had never been a politician before. I got to the White House. I said, yeah, I've never done this before, but I had to learn, and I had some great people. Bob Lighthizer was great, our trade representative, but we had some people that I didn't like, I wouldn't have picked in retrospect. We had some clinkers. But you have to understand, I just got there. I was only in Washington 17 times, and I never stayed over. So I wasn't a part of Washington society. It wasn't my thing. I was a New York person, developer, did great. And I knew New York, but I didn't know Washington. So I had to rely on people. Sometimes I'd rely on rhinos, and that's what I'd get. I'd get a rhino. And that wasn't so good. But we had mostly great people, but we had some ones that I would not have again. And we're going to finish the job that we really brilliantly started, because we had numbers that the ambassador gave you some of them. I don't want to bore you by going through it, but he gave you some numbers that were unprecedented.